All right. Yep, looks like we're live there, folks. Didn't look like we were for a second there. All right. Well, hey, how are you all doing on this fantastic Monday evening? It's a wonderful night. Uh, had a fantastic day, Motivation Monday, got some things done today. Pretty amazing. Anyway, wanted to talk to you about a few things that have come up. Well, let's get through the disclaimers and so forth first, anyway. And, folks, if you are coming live, we would love to have you let us know down below. Give us a hashtag live or a hashtag replay. I see folks up in the corner where it'll tell me people are here, right up here. It'll tell me that somebody's watching, but yet I don't get any comments down there sometimes. So, folks, if you're here, let me know. Also, I'd like to know where you're from and any questions you got, drop them in the chat down below. And of course, now if you happen to go over to YouTube, we would love to have you like and subscribe for us over there on YouTube. It helps other folks see the videos. If it makes it easier for you, just search for at Smiling Stew over there on YouTube. Makes it a lot easier to find. And folks, of course, if you are not coming to us through the Facebook group, the Home Business Freedom group, we would love to have you come and join us. And come and join us over in the group. Just go to Facebook's groups and search for Home Business Freedom. And then after that, if you want to, you can also use the link that I set up for you, smilingstew.com/group. Now, folks, welcome to Home Business Freedom. I am Smiling Stu Sutherland. I am a freedom crusader. I give people the knowledge and the tools to build freedom by disconnecting their time from their money and growing a residual income business working from home. Now, folks, what have I got for you this evening? I got something kind of fun for you. Now, you guys know that I go to my mastermind all the time, and it's got some pretty good stuff going on in it. And you know that we just had Freedom Fest last week, so everybody was at a live event. Now I had to go virtually, but still it was live. I just didn't drive across the country for it. I wish I had, because they really had an amazing time there. And it's definitely I'm going to go to the one next year. It was just a little too late for me to try and shift things around to be able to get there this year. So anyway, second here. All right. So anyway, one of the things that they've been talking about and came out of one of the live speakers performances, and one of the speakers was up there and he basically challenged everybody in the group to be able to show them a list of your goals. And amazingly enough, very successful in the people could not show a list of goals. And they have goals in their head and so forth. They know where they're heading, but they hadn't really taken the time to write down their goals. There was one person, maybe two people in the room who had something going on with their goals. And so it kind of made us all think. And so we're kind of focused now on the need to get going on some goals and to really set up what we're after. And going to the mastermind using the principles of Napoleon Hill, he talks about setting your major definite purpose and setting your goals. And 2024 is right around the corner, and it's time to set some goals. And folks, your goals, I mean, sure, if you want to set a goal to lose weight for 2024, great. Set a goal to lose weight, and I'm going to show you how you can help with that as well. And a lot of people talk in terms of financial goals. Well, there are other things you can look at too, and I'm going to show you basically how we can work around that and work it. But really, it comes down to, are you happy where you are now? Okay, if you're not, where are you going? You've got to set some kind of a goal to get there. Is your job what you're wanting? Is your family life the way you want it? Is your time freedom? Do you have the freedom to do the things you want with your time when you want to do them? Money. I mean, is your money where you want it to be? Now, money isn't the most important thing, obviously. I would place family life and time freedom well above that. In fact, that's why it's the fourth thing on my list. you know, what are your goals to change it? If you're not exactly where you want to be, what are you doing to change it? Where do you want to be a year from now? If you don't know where that is, you're not going to get there. Where do you want to be 5 years from now? You need to at least have an idea of that. Now, these goals can change. They're not written down in stone. You have the ability to change them as you see different things that interest you more, what have you. But if you don't look at 1 year, 5 year, 10 years, where are you going to be in 1 year? Probably exactly where you are now because you didn't set a goal, you didn't see a destination. A comment was made in the mastermind this morning. If you want to have a steak dinner, you've got to go out to the store and buy a steak. Now, you may not think about it in your head of, hey, I just set a goal, but you did. Your goal was a steak dinner, and you had to break it down into what the steps were. Well, you had to go to the grocery store and get a steak. So you had a goal to go to the grocery store and get a steak so that you could come back and achieve a goal to have a steak dinner. Or maybe you take the easy way out and you just go to the local restaurant and you order a steak dinner, but still you had to have a goal, the goal of a steak dinner and a goal to go someplace and get it. So, you have to have goals in your life to do just about anything. And we really are setting them for ourselves all the time without thinking about it. But if we don't have a goal or a major definite purpose, it's going to be very difficult to get there. So you have to know where you're going. So I want to tell you a little story about when we were kids. And, I'm not a young guy. We used to have a little fun back in the days before the internet, before anybody had one of these things, or even the old flip phones for that matter. We had no phones in our hands. Our only phones were tied to walls in our homes. So we used to, for fun, I lived in a rural community at that time, and I was in my early 20s then. I had a bunch of friends, and we liked to just do things crazy. And so we would, just to have a little bit of fun, jump in the car, and we'd make sure the tank was full so we wouldn't have a problem. And we'd just go out in the driving in the country, any which way we could. And we'd say, turn left. Hey, turn right. Hey, go straight for a while. And we'd travel for, half hour out in the country, going every which way, having absolutely no idea where we were. And we would go until we found some town or some kind of, sooner or later, you're going to run into some civilization. You're not going to be in the cow pastures forever. At some point, if you just travel straight in one direction, you're going to hit something. So eventually we would find a place, and then we would have to figure out where we were and then figure out how to get back home. And, so we had to, first of all, figure out where we were, and we had to figure out what our destination was, and we had to figure out how to get there. Now, back in the day, we didn't have one of these where we could just set a little GPS. We actually pulled a piece of paper out of our glove compartment. It was called a map, and you unfolded it into all these different ways, and you found out where you were on that map, and you figured out what streets and what roads and what turns you had to make. And typically you had to have somebody in the passenger seat to navigate for you. So that was how you did it back in the day. But you had to figure out where you wanted to go, and then you had to figure out a way to get there. So anyway, we're all working on our goals, and people are finding it a little difficult at times. And so I want to share with you what I'm working on real quick here. Do a quick screen share. All righty. All right. Now, of course, I go to the mastermind call, and that's where we get that. Now, we study the laws of Napoleon Hill. I'm going to show you a couple of things in here, and then I'm going to show you what they look like when you get into them. So, first of all, right here is the Think and Grow Rich book. Just a little further down, you're going to find the major definite purpose and self-confidence formula. This is a form that's been designed out of the book to help you to set your goals. We're going to take a look at that in just a second. And the last thing I would show you down here in the bonus materials, worth a good look, is the Freedom Crusaders Manifesto. Okay, now let's take a look at all those things. Well, for starters, here is the book Think and Grow Rich, and I wanted you to remember we're starting on page 50. That ought to be able to be pretty easy to remember. But page 50, you go right down here and it tells you how to figure out where you want to go and how to set those goals and how to figure out what your major definite purpose is and all that right there. So just remember page 50. You might even drift back onto page 49 just to get the context. So anyway, that's got your instructions to help you out. So here's the major definite purpose and self-confidence formula. Now, it's designed with some blanks in it so you can fill them in to make it easier for you. So by the day, so by the blank day, so the 10th day, the first day, whatever, of blank month, in this case, we're talking 2024. So maybe you're talking December 31st, 2024, a year from now. I'm happening to set mine up for the 11th of November because that's a year from now's Freedom Fest. And I want to gauge where I am a year from this time. So anyway, and then it talks about I will have in my possession blank, whatever that is, however many dollars or however many pounds you're going to lose. And this is the thing, this can be used for anything. Now, this particular form is kind of set up for money, but you can use it for anything. And my goals aren't specifically money focused. And so I'm going to show you how I'm adapting it. And we've talked about this in the mastermind ways that you can adapt it to make it work for basically any goal. And so let's take a look at what I'm doing. So you can actually, once you get in there, you can cut and paste this into a Google document or a Word document, whatever you use, and you can work with it and edit it to the way you want it, because this is just a guideline, folks. This doesn't have to be the exact thing for you. So read it, adjust it, make it work for you. So anyway, and it talks about, you'll have this much money in your possession. In return for this money, I will give the most efficient service of which I am capable, rendering the fullest possible quantity and best possible quality of service in the capacity of whatever it is you do to render the service. If you're a auto technician, then that would be the best service as an auto technician. So whatever it happens to be that you do. Okay. So again, this can be designed to work for whatever you want to use it for. So if you were using weight, you would say by the blank day of whatever, I will have lost 25 pounds, which I will lose in various amounts from time to time during the interim. In return for losing this, I will exercise daily, control my diet, whatever it is. So this can be adapted for any goal you have. So that's the thing you want to think about. But the important thing is figure out what that goal is, set a goal for it, because if you don't do it now, you're going to be exactly where you are right now a year from now. So get in there and set that up. Let me show you what I'm doing. I've copied it over. I've got it on a Google Doc. So my major definite purpose is by the 11th day of November. That's when Freedom Fest occurs. 2024, I will have surrounded myself with 25 high energy people who are dedicated to taking action and staying the course until. That means they're not going to try it for a month and then say, oh, no. They're going to stay the course and work the course until it works, because that's the only way you get there, folks. If you just buy some course or try and do anything and you only do it for a month, it's not going to happen. I don't care if that's losing weight or making money or whatever it is. So if you don't have a goal and an idea of how to get there, that's what's going to happen. You think, oh, I just want to lose some weight. And you go off and that's your plan. And maybe you start out exercising thinking that's great. But if you haven't really divided the plan, down the road, you're going to fall off of it and you're not going to be successful. So this is a great way of doing it. Adapt it to what works for you. So my goal is not for money. My goal is to surround myself with the kind of people who want to build a community and help each other build successful businesses. So, by surrounding myself with those people, ultimately my business will flourish, their business will flourish, and we will all succeed. So, that's my goal. So, how am I going to do that? Well, so in that taking action and staying course until I will find these people by serving others and building relationships. And then down here's where I'm still editing. So, and then it talks about I will give the most efficient service and so forth. Well, I'm going to have to edit that a little bit for me. And same with you if your goal is something different. But this is a great starting point for actually getting your goals down on paper and figuring out where you want to be a year from now and setting sights to do it. Maybe it's you just want to find a better job. Maybe you don't want to build a business of your own. Just want to find a better job. Well, what is that better job? What does that look like? What are the steps you need to take there? If you don't figure that out, put out some resumes, take steps to find that job, you're still going to be in the same job you're in a year from now, and you won't have made any improvements. So that's the kind of thing that can make a ton of difference for you. And so that's why I'm advocating you want to get started now, setting your goals for 2024. Go ahead and get into this, get into the group here, or get into the collection, and get into the manifesto, and get into the major definite purpose. And you can build your own, again, edit it for what works for you and what your goal is. Again, you can take this and say, well, my goal is by this time next year, I will be in a better job that pays me X number of dollars. To find this job, I will update my resume, build networking relationships to find the greatest job that's out there, etc. So there are steps that you can take for whatever your motivation is. So I encourage you to do it. I encourage you to do it now so that your 2024 will shine better than 2023 did. Folks, have a fantastic evening. I want you to make sure you smile at everybody you see tomorrow. It will improve their day, and it absolutely will improve yours as well. Folks, have a fantastic evening. I will drop some links in here in the bottom for you so that you can get into the collection and find all the stuff you need to be able to do this. So have a great night, folks. Smiling Stu out. Take care now.